This is Coaching 101, a space for growth, accountability, and transformation where insight meets action and people learn to move forward with purpose. I like the ending. Move forward with purpose, not backward, people. Welcome to Coaching 101 with my legendary co host, Miss Karen Delotte.
My pleasure to be here, Daniel. Thank you.
Yes. Another week, people. Another great episode for sure. And we will talk about behavioral change models every coach should know. Interesting.
Yeah, coaching it truly is about behavior modification. That's really whatever the goal is for the person, physically, mentally, emotionally, sports, or whatever the field is. For me, it's the arts. It's about changing some kind of behavior through learning, through being understood, being self-examining, and finding how and ways that you can become your best you.
Mhm. The best you, people. Speaking of art, Miss Karen and I firstly met on Book 101 Review. I invited her to Matchmaker to be my guest to promote her book. What is the title of the book, Miss Karen?
Art history and appreciation. It's a note
Yes,
from my
yes.
college classes. Yeah, with lots of
Mm.
pictures. Yep.
Yes, available where books are sold. People, and we met there, started our connection, and then it later on went to abstract essay, and then went to geography 101. And what else? I decided that, oh, Miss Karen, would you like to be my co host? So, I think I first introduced love letters.
Yes.
Yes, love letters, because at that time, I'm doing love letters for 2 years. I'm tired of doing alone, like reading letters alone and then giving advice. I said I need a co-host to do this. So in mind, for for sure, I need to test first my co-host before I will say, okay, you are the right co-host. I did I think four people that asked them to be my co-host, and the rest, the three, are failed because my number one rule is if I'm offering you as my co-host, he said, if you ask for money, okay, you totally X, because once you say, oh, what's the big deal for money? If you accept it, that okay, for sure I will be your co-host with the passion that you will do it every single week. That's the sign that you have a passion of what you're doing. But if you're doing this only for money, that's a bad sign. Yes, because this, if there's no money, you will not do it, right? So Miss Karen did it. Okay, I will appear it in a single week, and we do it in a single week. Then it truly a passion of Miss Karen to be my co-host, and then I asked her to let's do one more Bible verses 101, which is we procrastinate for 1 year. Imagine, people, 1 year. I asked Miss Karen, okay, let's do it next one, Miss Karen, because I have a lot of podcasts doing, and I have no time to, yes, to set what we're gonna do and like this and like that. But the God said, oh, why you procrastinating, Daniel? You need to do Bible verse 101. If the Holy Spirit will talk to you, you cannot do anything, people. I told you.
It's
It's
true.
like, oh, okay, so, okay, I will do it next year. I said, next year, now. And then the God said, okay, now, do it now. So Bible verses were born, which is we're doing now. Is it already 5 months we're doing, or 6 months? 6 months, right, Miss Karen?
Not quite 6 months, but maybe
Hmm.
5. Yeah, maybe 5
Five,
months.
yes. We're doing for 5 months now, people. And thank God it's a blessing indeed, because I have no time to church. And we need those spiritual, what they call message from us to grow, to fellowship. And through doing this every week with my two co-hosts, it gives me or builds me to regain my strength in spirituality. And I said, that's why God said, you do it now, Daniel, not tomorrow, not next year, today.
Yeah.
And thank God. I told you, if the Holy Spirit will talk to you, you cannot say no. Even you have a lot of commitment. You say yes, and it will be bless you. It will bless you more if you say yes. I'm saying this, people, because it's a process. As I said, in coaching, it's a process too. Having a co-host is a process. In coaching is a process too. Once you have a client, you establish a rapport. The rapport that give you build a trust, and trust give you a good outcome for your relationship, both of you.
Absolutely. That was beautiful, Daniel. Thank you. I feel privileged and honored to be part of what you're doing. You do all the hard part, all the behind scenes. You just make it so easy for me. I get to do what I love to do. And having the freedom, and this is one of the things that connected Daniel and I is we both have faith in Jesus Christ. And this is
Mm-hmm.
what we're going to bring to the table to all of our podcasts. And whether that offends you or not, it's just the truth. We are going to be ourselves. It's not because we're perfect, but we
Yes.
have a perfect savior. And so even with our coaching 101, which we're talking about today, and even with the topic of behavior modification, it incorporates everything that we're doing. All of our podcasts have at the root, at the heart, is that we somehow want to change what we're doing and understanding the underlying motives that cause us to act the way we do, react the way we do, not do what we should do is all about this modification of the way we act. And so coaching to me, because I've been teaching and coaching a very long time, but in 2021 I began a process of learning how to be a better coach. And I took course after course from some of the best coaches, the most successful coaches that some of them people would know the names, sometimes you wouldn't. Biblical, some of them are biblically based. Some of them, I think, all the successful ones truly have at their roots biblical truths, or they really wouldn't help people modify their behavior. And so, the last coaching course I took last year on the ideal life was also biblically based. And so, this kind of topic that can be very uh, theoretical. It can have a lot of a teaching about it is truly at its roots talking about people and what causes them to do better, what causes them to be better, how can they have a very healthy, well-adjusted life if they didn't get the positive parenting, for instance, that we talk about in our parenting class. Maybe that didn't happen for them, and as a result they have some behaviors that they truly want to change, or they have some dreams and desires and they need someone to coach them to be better at this pursuit. So these are the kinds of things that we're talking about in Coaching 101.
Certainly, people. Behavioral change is the currency of coaching. Every goal, breakthrough, and transformation ultimately depends on a person doing something differently and continuing to do it enough for to stick. Talent matters, or resources matters, or timing matters, but behavior is the lever that move results. Coaches who understand how change truly works operate the precision rather than hope. They grade guesswork for method, definitely.
Yeah. And there are methods. There are some methodologies that are just incredibly successful because they do take into account what Daniel's talking about. And I know for me as an art teacher or as a filmmaker teacher, is it's what causes people to do what they do. What is the underlying motivations inside of them? And if you can get an understanding of what drives behavior, then you can much more easily help them modify that behavior.
Certainly. The first principle many professional anchor is to trans-theoretical model, which is remind us that people move through stages. Not everyone who says they want to change is ready to act. Just like what I'm talking about a while ago, it's a process, people, to have this chemistry between me and Miss Karen, or between Miss Karen and I. It takes time, not just like in 1 minute. Okay, we talk about something and we have a chemistry already. You need to build that chemistry. You know, it's already what is your ups and down in terms of speaking. So it's a process. It's not a quick minute, people. So make sure that in coaching too, you undergone to a process so that you have a successful coaching career.
Yeah. And trust takes time to build. Just like, someone doesn't put their walls down immediately just because you're just introducing yourself or because of your role, but they're going to see if you're authentic, if you're being real, and if you're telling them the truth. And if you continue to tell the truths in love with an empathy, they call it empathy, we call it love, but empathy in these coaching modules means they're going to trust that you're going to give them good advice. You're going to help them and be alongside of them as they need this coach to help them to do better in whatever it is, the arena. And I know the health and wellness, nutrition is a huge category, especially in the beginning of the year when people want to lose weight or they want to get in shape, they want to eat better, they want to feel better. These are huge arenas of coaching, and there are so many commercials if you watch anything, so many opportunities to find some coaching, which tell you it works better than just taking some kind of medication. It works better with this process that Daniel is describing, that is bit by bit, stage by stage, line upon line, right? It's not instant. It is, and then sometimes one piece of coaching can make a huge difference, a huge
Mhm.
difference. But a lot of times it's just building the foundations of the wisdom you're getting step by step and applying them and allowing them to get rooted inside your heart to make those behavioral changes happen on the outside. It happens on the inside first, and then it's visible on the outside.
Certainly. Very well said, Miss Karen. And also, motivation becomes more durable when viewed through self determination theory. Human beings thrive when they feel choice or mastery and connection. Remove those nutrients and compliance fades quickly. So, you need to put those ingredients to build them and persistent and strength naturally. Great coaching feeds intrinsic drivers.
Hmm. And a good coach isn't someone you get dependent upon. And this is one of the difference between therapy and coaching is coming alongside for a specific purpose, some specific kind of modification that you're looking for in your behavior, or um, it's not really about the therapeutic model of looking into the dark secrets of your past, but it does, of course, overlap in some of these arenas as well, right?
Mhm. Certainly. And people, high performers are rarely built on heroic effort alone. They rely on systems that makes action easier than avoidance. Prompts, routines, and environmental cues reduce decision fatigue. Coaches who help construct this ecosystem multiply follow through. Discipline becomes embedded. Everything discipline is everywhere. Without discipline, you will not succeed.
I know what has worked for me in coaching, in these courses that I've taken is I set myself under someone that I trust that they've succeeded, they've had success in this arena, number 1. Number 2, I trust that they're giving me good information and guiding me. And number 3, care about me, care about what happens in my own, life and business, and then also that they're going to give me the accountability that I need to follow through. They're going to be saying, "Okay, next week when we meet, I want to see you have accomplished do 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 the kind of discipline that Daniel's talking about." There's going to be accountability for that. So I know as an art teacher, I give homework. We only meet 3 times a month. So in between, I need them to be practicing because these are people that want to build their skills so they can become good drawers, good painters, good artists, or good actors, make good better movies. Because I teach filmmaking as well, and they want to do better in their field that they're interested in, and so I'm giving them accountability as a coach. I'm not doing it for them, but I'm guiding them and leading them into a way that modifies their behavior, and I try to keep it positive. And this is one thing that I really wanted to stress with coaching, that to find a coach or to be a coach, that you are keeping a safe atmosphere, a non-judgmental, truth-telling environment that promotes positive feedback for your clients, or if you're a client, that you're going to get somebody that's giving you positive feedback in your I found that telling people what you're doing wrong is not the way to get them to grow. You just lead them into the right paths and they'll go the right paths, not stressing, "That's the wrong way, don't go there." That just doesn't work, doesn't make us better, doesn't motivate us to do better. It what does is say, "Here, follow me, follow this path, this way works." Works for them, works for you. Come on, do it this way. So that's just a little bit of behavior modification I've seen work in my coaching career.
And one thing more, people, clarity of direction is reinforced by goal setting theory too. Specific challenging goals focus attention and elevate performance. Ambiguity dilutes effort. Measurement creates feedback, and feedback enables refinement. What gets redefined gets done.
People, I went to school back in the abstract expressionist era, and my teachers, they just said, "Okay, in 6 weeks, you gotta have 6 canvases." There was so little instruction, just exactly what Daniel is describing here when he's saying they weren't specific. I needed more help than that. I wanted some nice guidelines. So when I teach how to draw, and I have a how to draw book, how to paint, I have a how to paint book. When I teach them, it's very specific. That doesn't mean they can't do something else in there. I'm just giving them the confident steps to building their skills so they can then do exactly what they want to do with their arts. So this is really important in whatever behavior modification model you're using. There needs to be that kind of specificity that Daniel is describing right there.
Certainly. Ultimately, the best coaches understand the transformation is engineered through consistent, informed adjustments. Frameworks provide maps, language, and leverage. Clients gain not only the result, but repeatable understanding, and that is the difference between temporary improvement and lifelong capability.
Yeah, that's so good. That is just beautifully said. It's change that lasts. That's what Daniel's describing. Not just instant gratification, but something that is really, truly, deeply making a difference.
Really make a difference, people. So, well, hoping for the best. And Miss Karen, would you like to plug in something?
Yes. So thank you for listening to us talk about coaching and some of our personal feelings about what coaching is. And we want you to come back and listen to more episodes of Coaching 101. And we're going to talk about a lot of more things about coaching that will hopefully give you clearer insight for whether you want to be a coach or be a client of a coach. We also do love letters. If you have relationship issues you want to get some advice from, listen and watch love letters and send us some letters. We also do positive parenting. We're talking about techniques and plans for how to raise very confident and well adjusted children. And then, last but not least, Bible verses 101, where we teach different scriptures every week, favorite verses that have had an impact in our lives and could have an impact in your life too.
Yes, people, please support our four podcasts for Coaching 101 and Positive Parent 101. Still not yet available on podcast, but you can watch us live every Saturday through all social media, and sooner or later it will be published wherever you listen your podcast. But for our love letters and Bible verses 101, please do listen wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Karen, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Listeners, we love you. God bless you.
Much love, people. See you soon.